Welcome to our little corner of the internet when we yap about the earth while drinking tea in a funny mug. Tika, do you have your mug with
Hell
me?
yes. It says, I'm a trilo bit of a nerd.
I love it. I love that. My mug actually doesn't say anything, but it's the mug I got for my PhD defense from. So
Good
yeah,
one.
good one. And today we are going to be busy because we will be touching a lot of topics which are grouped together under one banner of conspiracy theory. And we'll be talking about flat Earth, conspirational thinking. We will be talking about why people tend to believe in conspiracies and what is wrong with "it's just a theory" statement. And generally, I think it's quite important topic, especially nowadays when we see a lot of misinformation, when we see a lot of fake news, when we see increasing mistrust in science. And of course, I will not be talking about every single conspiracy there is because it's way too many. So let's focus on the one closest to home,
Let's do
which is
it.
flat Earth. And for us as geologists, the whole idea of flat Earth might be a bit trivial and sometimes funny, but there is a small percentage of people who do believe that Earth is flat and that we are all tricked by NASA or Freemasons or aliens, lizard people. So I will make you guess, Tika, how many percentage of population do believe in flat Earth?
think I think I heard something about this lately. I think in America, in the US, it was like 7%, right? Pretty high, in my opinion. I think overall it's a bit lower, so maybe 5%.
Okay. So there was a 2018 study made by YouGov on 8,000 responders, showing that 84% always believed that the Earth is a sphere, 5% always believed that it's round, but recently started having doubts, 2% went straight to flat, and 2% always believe that it's flat, but recently start having doubts. And we also going to talk about that because that's interesting group of population. How do you change someone's mind? Because this is something we who like science and who are advocating for science should talk with people who disbelieve in science.
It's one of the most difficult things in science communication as well, changing someone's mind and changing someone's behavior. Definitely.
It's really interesting topic. And of course, this doesn't add up to 100%. There's also 7% which were not sure and had other opinions. So as you can see, it's quite small percentage, I would say. But they are very vocal. And it's really funny because one of the like podcasters I like to listen to, she said that she's getting most death threats and like slurs from flat earthers. So I'm like, let's see what's happened after this episode. Please don't send us any mean messages. And if you want to send us a mean message, show it to your mom and ask, Mom, would you like to receive a message like this? If the answer is no, maybe just don't hit the send button.
We are fragile. Don't be mean.
Exactly. So we right now established that 2% of population do believe that Earth is flat, and then another 2 believe it's flat, but they are on the like flip. And it's quite interesting that in 2025, as we record this podcast, there are people who really strongly believe in flat Earth, given that we are suspecting that the Earth is a sphere since Pythagoras. Then at the 4th BC, Aristotle also was supporting the view of Pythagoras. And then we have the head librarian of Alexandria around 3rd BC who measured the circumference of the earth by measuring the distance from Siena to Alexandria. And he was off by like 10%. So that's insane that already so early on, science or very early science, arithmetic, could already predict that Earth is not flat. Let's put it right there from the get-go. Nobody in our group believes that the Earth is flat. So let's have it out of the way.
I try to believe it just because to see it from a different point of view. I failed. It is round. All over the globe, we know the Earth is round.
And then even in so-called Dark Ages, Middle Ages, the Catholic monks and generally Catholic Church supported the view of Earth as a sphere, even when there was still the point of view when Earth is the center of the universe, we were still spherical.
This is a first for me. Like, we agree with the church, let alone the Catholic Church. I'm baffled. They are not as bad as I thought.
Yeah. At least they believe in, sphere Earth.
Yeah.
And let's give them that.
Yeah.
And not only Catholic Church, also like Islam agreed that Earth is a sphere. And funnily enough, this knowledge was not limited to the scholars of that time, because even less educated people, like sailors, understood that the Earth is not flat by simply observing the surrounding. So this is like one of those things which I was at least taught at school. I don't know how it was for you, Tika. That one of the proofs, observations actually, was that sailors observing ships going out of the horizon, so appearing on the horizon, they appear from the sail down. So, if you imagine a curve and you come behind the curve, you would start seeing first the top sail, and then slowly the whole ship would emerge.
Yeah, I don't think we discussed it much in school. I think it was just a given. The Earth is round. We did discuss the heliocentric versus geocentric view. So the Copernicus, which we will probably talk about later. But yeah, it was never debated that the Earth was round.
At my school, we never debated that it's flat, but we went through like history of how they determined it. So that's why also I know that the head librarian of Alexandria, there was this experiment when there was a well, I think in Siena, and then at certain point of the year, the light was shining all the way down. And then, based on that and the movement, he could determine the circumference. It's
Yeah,
a very difficult
just
word
follow
for
a
me.
shadow and you see it's not a straight line.
Yeah, exactly. So you would say, okay, the episode over, right? We already established that Earth is not flat because we see sails. But flat earthers do have answers for everything you throw at them. That's why they are so strongly firm in their beliefs. And they use a lot of like refracting and, this is just mirage and whatever. But we will talk a bit about the way how they are debating a bit later. So let's say that right now we know that even people in Middle Ages believe that the Earth is not flat. And you would think that the flat Earth movement is quite recent and centralized in US because we hear a lot of things coming from US about the flat Earth.
They are loud.
They are loud. They are loud on Reddit. They are loud on the internet. They are loud in the comment sections and the YouTube videos. So this, let's say 2% of population is very vocal about their beliefs. But it actually started not very recent. I was quite surprised when I was doing the research for this episode that it started in the 19th century by a guy from London named Samuel Rowbotham. I hope I didn't butcher it. Probably I did.
This sounds fake. I'm sorry. What did this guy say?
So he was an English utopian socialist, flat earth. He was, I think, the first flat earther who wrote Zetetic Astronomy, Earth, Not a Globe. And it started as a pamphlet, and then later on in 1865, it became a book. So we have already fast book. So the movement went up to like 3,000 followers, which is also not a lot. It's still like marginalized. But this was the beginning. But besides that he was a flat earther, he was also a piece of shit who was selling people life-prolonging mixtures. I love this type of people. Which, as you can guess, did not work because he died. You know?
I mean, I somehow always admire these kind of people for their ingenuity in making money. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't say it's right. It's definitely not. But still, I'm like, I almost wish I thought of that, because then I would be rich.
Damn, why did I have my moral backbone to not scam people out of their money
Yeah.
to buy mixtures, which doesn't work?
Like, I'm not really sad. I'm just a little sad.
Yeah, it's like, God damn it. My life could
Why am
be
I a
so
good
much
person?
different.
Yeah. I've ruined
um,
me.
yeah, definitely. Maybe you should drink a potion which makes you a rich person.
Yeah. Yeah.
But first you have to pay, then you're gonna get a course of 10 steps which makes you a billionaire.
Yeah.
Isn't it the modern life prolonging mixture all about?
Yeah. But it's probably Bitcoin or something. Some
Yeah.
course on Bitcoin or financial advice or
How to become an investor in 10 simple steps.
yeah, like it's that easy. Yeah.
Going back to the topic.
Diversion. Yeah.
Diversion, of course. I love that. But he died in 1884. Or did he? Or this is what NASA wants you to believe he did.
We're that deep, huh?
Yeah, exactly. I need my tinfoil hat because, oh girl, like, for this episode, I went so deep, I don't know if I'm ever gonna resurface.
We need a picture for social media with this tinfoil hat.
Yeah, definitely.
We will get more death threats than ever.
I do have a photo of me in a tinfoil hat from my PhD defense. I don't know if you remember.
I don't.
You were that drunk already?
Maybe.
Going back to, to the British guys. Because after this Brit, there was another Brit in 1956. Again, UK. Guy called Samuel Shenton.
Another Samuel.
Another
name.
British guy. Yeah. No, all Sams, flat earthers.
Damn.
Straight up flat. I don't know any Sam, so that's okay. He founded International Flat Earth Research Society based in Denver. Sorry, not Denver, Dover. Sorry, guys, Dover. And that was a bit of unfortunate timing for this guy, as in October 1957, we began the age of space exploration with launch of Sputnik, which provided a concrete empirical data, first in the form of like radio signal tracking, and then eventually people came back and they could tell the tale and show the photos.
So he got debunked almost immediately.
Definitely. He was like 1 year after, and he was like, shit, I already have to start debunking the truth. And again, this could have been an easy and fast episode, but this guy said whatever every flat earther is saying, that it's deception of the public by the government. The mistrust of government is something which runs very, very deep in like almost most of the conspiracy theories and most of the conspirational thinking. But here you have a definitely quite significant, like you see it straight away because it's like NASA is trying to tell you stuff, and all the government agencies trying to tell you stuff. And because of the space race, the numbers of the people in the International Flat Earth Research Society plummeted from 3,000 to 100. But, only because it plummeted doesn't mean that it stopped to exist. And then there was a this guy in California, Charles Johansson, more or less took over, and he founded International Flat Earth Research Society of America. And I could find that in 2009, it had around 500 members, but I could not find any more recent numbers, but it's estimated between 3,000 and 3,500 members.
That,
And these guys,
that doesn't sound too bad. Like, that doesn't sound like a lot of people for the noise.
It doesn't sound like a lot of people, but in the same time, with the age of an internet, I think this is the same like problem with those marginalized beliefs, or even like incels and extreme misogynists. It's not a lot. It's not a large number. It's that they are starting like create the community around it. The moment you're linking yourself with other people through internet, you create network, and then you have this power of like commenting and snowball effect, I guess. And these guys are strongly advocating for only accepting that which you can see with your own eyes and prove with your own efforts, which is gonna be interesting soon.
I should not laugh. This is horrible of me, but there's just they're so contradictory sometimes, and
Yes.
at the same time, you don't need to laugh at them because that's the worst thing you can do. Exclude these people that are segregating themselves even more. But it's hard not to laugh when you say something like that and still believe flat Earth.
Yes, exactly. Like, the things you can see with your own eyes, it's literally the sails, right? Like, already the ship should tell you something. It's your own eyes. It's not propaganda. It's not that, they probably they go deeper and be like, these are mirrors of the government which deflects the light. It's always something. You really, like, if they don't want to be convinced, they will come up with million other arguments to tell you that this is something else.
Yeah, they just overflood with stupid stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And my favorite quote, world looks flat. The bottom of the clouds are flat, and the movement of the sun is flat. Which is funny because none of these are actually true. Because, world look flat maybe if you live in Netherlands. But, me living in Switzerland, world is not flat.
No, you see the curve. You see how you cannot see farther than the curve.
I mean, I'm laughing because, of course, they mean as flat as just, surface. They don't mean by mountains, but, precision of formulation of the statements. But let's briefly talk about beliefs here. And of course, we will not have time to go and debunk every single belief they have. There are multiple videos on the internet which do that very well, and I'm going to link them in the description of this episode for our listeners. If you're interested, I did really deep dive, and some of those videos are made by like astrophysicists, so they are much more knowledgeable in debunking it. But I'm going to show you some pattern which I noticed through like watching these videos, watching also flat earthers videos, reading forums that I went down, that they are very inconsistent, and this inconsistency builds up. Because if you look at it from my perspective as someone who spent 5 years doing PhD research, so who knows how to create science and who knows how to read science, they don't have model, they don't have theory which would explain flat Earth. It literally doesn't work. It doesn't work. But let's first introduce how would they look, how would they show it to us. So you have North Pole, and then as a center, and everything around it is the Earth, right? And then you have a wall of ice around on the rims of the Earth. And you cannot go there because NASA would prevent you to go there.
That's convenient.
I don't know how they would prevent. Like, oceans are freakishly big. How will they know where is like a single boat? You can kayak there. I don't know. Like, why you're not doing this? But also, like, you can shoot yourself to space. That's another topic.
No, that cannot be.
But like I grouped it to three very basic ideas, which are explainable by spherical Earth, and they are trying to prove it by flat Earth. But I think it's a perfect moment to take a break. And I would like to invite you to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and join us on Instagram or Facebook to let us know if you actually liked it. I hope you did. And we will meet you next week. So see you next week. Bye.
Thank you for listening. See you next time.